We are about a month away from the release of Halo Campaign Evolved, and quite a bit of gameplay has actually been shown off. And if you look close enough, we've already been shown some key changes to this Halo remake. Stuff like not having a health bar system, or adding modern mechanics like sprint to the game. So that got me thinking, what else could they potentially change with this remake? And should it even be changed? Now, before I speculate over what changes I think we could see, let's go over differences between Halo Combat Evolved and Halo Campaign Evolved that we've already seen. Starting off with the weapon sandbox. This remake is adding weapons from across the entire Halo series. The SMG, battle rifle, sentinel beam, beam rifle, and field rod cannon, all originating from Halo 2, are being added. There's a sick new version of the Spiker that was first introduced in Halo 3. My fan favorite being the needle rifle from Halo Reach is now in the game. And of course, the iconic energy sword is returning, even though this is the first time it'll be usable in Halo CE. Another staple to the Halo series that's actually a first for CE is boarding vehicles. Using an overcharged plasma pistol to hijack or board a Covenant vehicle is standard practice now, but when the game first came out, the plasma pistol actually didn't do much. It kind of just did extra damage. There was no overcharge or disable on vehicles. And since it's been a feature from Halo 2, it kind of just makes sense that that would be added to the only Halo game that doesn't have it. This also allows the Wraith to be driven for the first time in CE, which was actually the only Covenant vehicle that you couldn't use in Halo 1. The Ghost and Banshees were both drivable. Some other minor changes are kind of how the health system works now. Ghost and Banshees did have health bars, and of course the Warthog can never get blown up, but you were able to see the health bars of any Marines that were with you. All of that has pretty much been stripped away, probably just to make sure the HUD isn't too messy. But I think it's a bigger cause of the health system just being negated and removed completely. That means health packs are unfortunately missing in action. Our only indication of damage or health is the shield system, which has been the simple indication all the way since Halo 2. I'm kind of bummed about this. Nothing really compares to the stress of playing Halo CE on Legendary with only one red little sliver of health left, not knowing when you'd find another health pack. Death can be around any corner or any hallway when you're playing on Legendary. Now that we're back to just shields, sure, Legendary is going to be tough and you'll die a lot. Part of that stress is essentially gone. It's going to feel a little odd not seeing health packs around with ammo packs still being in the game. Even the overshield and invisibility pickups are still found in the gameplay trailers, which you could argue feel just as strange to have in the game than the health packs were. But these changes aren't the end of the world. I'm kind of nitpicking just a little bit, but it does change kind of the core mechanic that was in Combat Evolved. Some of these changes do make sense for a modern remake. I don't think anyone expected a 1-to-1 ratio of this to be Halo rebuilt from the ground up. And on the plus side, we are getting a large variety of skulls that do their best to make Halo feel like the original game the best they can. Skulls that give the assault rifle its 60 mag clip. You can turn off sprint in the menu. You can even make it so the vehicles don't blow up, just like in the original. So in a way, even though this is a remake, you could play it as close to the original if you'd like. Now, let's speculate on possible changes that we could see that haven't yet been revealed. These are some of the ideas I had after seeing the gameplay for Assault on the Control Room. A few times during the level, we see a new layout for the Forerunner interiors. That got me thinking, what other layout changes could we see throughout other levels of the game? A no-brainer for me is the library. An infamous level that feels like it's going on and forever, just repeating itself. Long stretches of hallways fighting endless waves of the flood just to reach a lift at the end and repeat it all over again. And fundamentally, the library could be the same gameplay-wise, but from a creative sense, this remake has the opportunity to make each level of the library have a different layout, removing that repetitiveness that was in the original game. As an added visual, maybe the higher up you go in the library, we get to see more of the flood infection spread throughout the building. Flood tendrils can infect the walls, cover doors, stuff along those lines, making the library, and in addition any other campaign level that they do this to, much more unique. Layout changes like this could be seen across the entire back half of the campaign. The second biggest opportunity is during the mall when you're doing your Warthog run. The long narrow strip of empty ship that's there has been memed for years, criticizing the ship design of the Pillar of Autumn. Halo Studios has an opportunity to reinvent that long strip of empty ship. Maybe since the ship crash landed, we can see more debris and make it more like the ship actually got cut in half. When Campaign Evolved eventually does release, I'm curious what speedrunning tricks will be found. One of the most popular ones on the mission Halo is to dispose of the Marines. That way you're not stuck fighting waves of Covenant forces and dropships. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets changed with Johnson getting the prequel missions. We're kind of getting more character development for Johnson throughout this game. How messed up would it be if over 3 prequel missions that Chief spends bonding with Johnson, as soon as he crash lands on a mysterious ring planet, Chief just offs the entire Marine squad. I guess it was always kind of messed up that he did that, but in the original game, he was really just a Marine sergeant. His character became a fan favorite in the sequel games and the following books, so I wouldn't be surprised if this speedrunning trick disappears. Now, I'm not saying that Marines will be invincible or you won't be able to dispose of them. I just think that with the importance of Johnson as a character now, and the emphasis he has in this story, maybe you're able to knock him down, but he's gonna stand right back up and dish it right back at you, just like how he does in Halo 3. Now, the last change I think they'll bring up is the addition of the Arbiter, but not in the way you might think. Now, if this does turn into a full Halo Trilogy series remake, that's a mouthful, there's a great opportunity here to foreshadow the later events of the Halo series in Campaign Evolved. And since Halo 2 gives us the lore drop of the Covenant fleet being the Arbiter's fleet before he becomes the Arbiter, it'd be cool if we get maybe a reference or an Easter egg of sorts. Now, I don't want a full-blown encounter between Chief and the Arbiter, but maybe we see him in like a hologram form, kind of how we see the Prophet on Delta Halo, or even squads of Covenant troops are taking orders from that hologram. Alternatively, he could be off way in the distance, somewhere like out of bounds that we're not able to get to, kind of similar to this hallway here in the original game, where he could be defending his ship in a out of bounds kind of blink and you'll miss it moment. The easiest and most likely way to include him, if we even do get an addition of the Arbiter, would be through the terminals, which we already know do exist throughout this campaign. I can easily see a reference or two hidden in those terminals. Of course, this is all speculation, something that I thought it'd be fun to bring up as my opinion as a Halo fan. You know, something just to get excited for Halo Campaign Evolved. We're about a month away from playing the remake, and I'm just so excited. And I guess I'll just have to wait for myself to see what changes actually do get made. Let me know of your thoughts about all this. What changes do you think are possible? Do you agree with anything I've said? Feel free to voice your own opinions in the comments below. Please consider subscribing for more Halo content, included modded Halo Let's Plays. I've been Mr. T Swank, and thanks for watching.